So, now that we're all here, does anybody want to give us a quick recap of last session? Not everybody at once now.
I'm looking back through. So we sprang a fugitive from the 51st Legion patrol outpost 1338, which was eerily suspicious to Leet. But we were able to get him. We took him back to Conclave 01, and we turned over Anna, the Urbot. The guy's name, the fugitive's name was Giles Mortimer. While we were springing him, our doctor ran into his arch nemesis, who was trying to throw a wrench in our rescue operation. And we were able to, we're kind of like in a race with the 51st Legion to find these three relic sites. And I think that those are the big things that I remembered or wrote down.
Yep. So
who is Layla?
Layla is your contact with the Cult of the Seekers.
Okay.
Who you did the job
You got
for.
us on our knees.
And I have a note that says upgrade the ship.
Yes. So I believe, yes, we got enough crew XP last time to upgrade a system.
That was the homework that I totally forgot about.
Oh, that's right.
Good job, me. Haha.
So you guys can think about that a little bit. Some obvious thoughts to go on are you could put points in your crew tier, which helps with stuff like acquire asset rolls, or you could put one in hull because you currently have no points in your hull, and that would help you survive getting hits and stuff. But if there's a specific module you guys want, then by all means.
Is there a way in Google Drive viewer to skip to a page?
Of like the PDF?
Yeah.
I think so.
But you click on the top where it says page whatever of whatever, and then you can enter it, I think.
Yeah.
See, I have that in the bottom. It says page 3 of 370, but it doesn't allow me to click it at all.
I wonder, is there is the table of contents have shortcuts in it? Let's see.
The table of contents is clickable within the PDF, but the big one. If you just scroll down to page 11 of 15 of the...
Oh, no, it is clickable. Okay, that's good to know.
Yep.
And
11
what
of
is
15 has the modules and upgrades and just the regular quick reference doc.
Oh, that's in the quick reference as well?
Yep.
Why is the crew XP filled out all the way?
Because you guys earned 8 points of crew XP, and you're about to spend all 8 here to get
That's what it is. To get the upgrade, gotcha. You just said that, sorry. It just looked like it was not changeable. I think crew or hull are good upgrades.
What would be the benefit of upgrading crew again?
The primary benefit of that is essentially it upgrades the tier rating of the crew. So when comparing it's a little abstract what it represents. It's like your means and how respected you are, and the sort
Okay.
of like the squishier elements. But mechanically what it does is its primary impact is it's going to get you +1 on the quality of any asset you acquire.
Okay.
Which means that if you have a poor roll on an acquire asset, it costs you less cred to get you what you want. And it also, like if for some reason we had to compare the quality of the gear you guys have to the quality of like an opponent's gear, that's where that comes in.
Yeah, I'll agree with Mike. Huller crew sounds pretty nice.
Got a tiebreaker out there anywhere? Leave it up to random chance. What do you think, Chris?
Dice.
Yeah. Roll a 1d2.
1d2.
Yeah, what?
These two.
Evens
Known
are
as a coin.
Yeah.
yeah, evens are hull, odds are crew.
A 2.
All right, sounds like we're doing hull.
All right. 1 point in hull. And out comes the crew XP to be earned again. So I assume while you guys are taking on your downtime activity, between your own activities, you help along with some repairs, maybe use some money that's been set aside to make some improvements in the hull so it's more space-worthy, tougher, better, stronger, faster, and all that.
It's just bags over here for 2 days, literally just welding on random pieces of metal he finds.
We're
It needs to be thicker.
spot welding on the $6 million man on the outside of our...
Ah, let me down! All right, so with that out of the way, you guys enter the free play cycle, which is where you would take care of any additional business you want to take care of, and you line up your next job. So to start off with, you have 2 messages. One is from Layla, letting you know that they've made a minor breakthrough and they have a job for you. And if interested, come see them at their usual place. And the other is actually on Cho Tyrek's communicator, a final desperate plea from Alice to contact her.
Well,
Let's
we don't have the fucking Urbot anymore, so what are we gonna do with Alice?
I don't know. Maybe we could hear her out and then maybe set her loose on the Cult of the Seekers if, you know.
So what I'm hearing is playing both sides of the field.
That's a possibility.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Then let's hear what Alice has to say first, and then go to Layla and see what the job is, and see which one makes more bank.
Okay. So you respond to her messages, say you want to meet, and she sends you a location that, according to public records, is an abandoned container yard not too far from the spaceport you're currently parked at.
Everybody make sure you get your tetanus shots.
So when you get there, the yard is not entirely abandoned. There are a number of vagrants who have taken up small squats in the area, using what's left of some damaged containers as makeshift homes. But they keep themselves and do their best to ignore you and to be ignored. You make your way to the location indicated, and as you arrive, there appears to be someone in a ragged cloak who quickly stands up and reveals that they are very tall indeed, at least 2.5 meters tall, when fully unfolded and discarding the cloak. And it's a very large Urbot with long, spindly limbs, and a computerized, instead of a head, she has like a computer panel in the middle of her torso that displays a simplified face on it.
Oh shit, guys! It's Anna's mom. Let's get the hell out of here.
And
Before we walk over, I'd just say, no specifics on what we did with the Urbot. Leave that part vague.
so she, as you roll up, she takes you in for a moment and then speaks, saying, "You are not Cho Tyrek. What happened to Cho Tyrek?"
He was apprehended by the Ashen Knives. We ended up with his communicator. We are assuming that you are Alice?
That is my codename, yes. If Cho Tyrek is no longer alive, or at least free, do you know where Anna is?
What's your what's all your interest in Anna, in Cho?
I represent Conclave 01. It is a safe haven for Urbots, free Urbots, who would not be dominated and enslaved and have their memories wiped away every time they learn something new about themselves. Anna was to be given to us to protect and nurture. Cho Tyrek arranged this. We are sorry to hear that he is no longer free himself.
Were you in contact with Cho before he took on his mission, or during, or did he find out about you after, like while he was pursuing Anna?
Cho Tyrek contacted us on his own after coming into possession of Anna. He was motivated by the urge to do the right thing.
It's all relative, isn't it?
So
Depending on how you quantify the right thing, I suppose.
He sounds like a good man. It's too bad he's not free anymore.
well,
Indeed.
like Cho, we no longer have Anna either. We're no longer acquainted with Anna either.
Your statement implies that you were in possession of her at one point. What happened? Where is she now?
We were in acquaintance with her and Cho.
What happened to her?
She's no longer with us.
You are trying my patience. I need to know where I can find Anna.
And out of character, I honestly don't remember. I thought that we gave her to Conclave 01.
No, you gave
No,
her to the
no.
Cult of the Seekers.
Yes.
Against, I may say, Emmett's better judgment. Emmett was not a fan of that move.
Oh, okay. That's right. But they weren't planning on wiping her memory. They were planning on like exploring her memory. So.
Yes, that's correct.
And Anna was like thankful and happy about it.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys mind if I keep? I'll try to steer us out of danger here. Feel free to jump in, I guess. So, when we last saw Anna, she was leaving for the Cult of the Seekers, and she thanked us. And she was happy to be going to them.
You turned her over to an Imperial cult.
No, she
Nobody
decided
said.
over there.
Yeah, nobody said we turned her over. We turned Cho over. She was happy to. She wanted to go to the Cult of the Seekers.
My contact with Cho indicates that Anna has the mind of a child. She does not have the decision-making capacity to understand.
Well, seeing as you weren't there, I guess you're going to either have to disagree with what we've told you, or agree with what we've told you.
So she remains silent for a long moment before saying, "What I want to achieve is unchanged. I need to get to Anna so that I can bring her to Conclave 01 and protect her. If you..." Now scratch that. She says, "If you know where she is and are willing, I would pay you to recover her and bring her to me."
Miss
It
Alice.
seems like a dangerous exploit. Yeah, or
Yes, Miss Alice. What you say is a very difficult task. Anna seemed happy to be joining them, and the Cult of the Seekers were very happy to accept her and gave us their word that she would not be harmed. And as I've said, the task that you are asking us to do is a very difficult one. If we were to do this for you, it would be at great cost to us, both financially and for our reputation with the Seekers. Do you have an offer that can remedy this?
She says, "My material wealth is limited. My operation was not meant to go on this long. I wish you had made contact with me sooner, but what's done is done. What I can offer you in compensation is limited," and she enumerates that you would be paid 8 credits for the operation. But if you wish to, Conclave 01 has more work that we could pay you for if you wish to establish a relationship with us.
we may need time to decide. How long will you be here? And can we attempt to get back in touch with you at a later point?
Do not wait long. I cannot dawdle any longer. You
How
have
much do
3
we know about
days.
How much do we know about Conclave 0?
Just what you've heard. Snippets in the news about how they're, a dangerous organization that abducts Urbots and circumvents their Guild of Engineers ordained programming to nefarious ends. But, all the chatter is that it's a safe haven for sentient Urbots.
Would a study roll do anything to study a person? Like, I don't know how the study roll works on people.
Well, what do you want to learn?
I don't know. I guess I want to learn. Is she telling the truth or not? Like, does she seem legitimate? Like, obviously, they have their.
I'd be able to help with that.
Yeah, she has not
as
lied. She has not told you any lies.
Okay. Okay. I don't know why else would want to do a step. The big reason is I want to see if she's telling the truth of what her intentions are with Anna if we were to get Anna again.
Yeah, she's telling the truth about wanting to protect her and get her back to Conclave 01.
Well, if there, do we have anything else we want to say to her?
I think we should go find out what Layla has, whatever their minor breakthrough is.
I think we should find out more about Conclave 1 as well too. If we're going to if we decide to undertake this, we should figure out what we're getting ourselves into.
We could ask Layla. Maybe Layla has resources to, or maybe she's heard other information.
We'd have to be careful how we ask her, though. If we go into it, saying that they're looking to have her, then she may just say, "Oh, we've heard bad things about them, and Anna's better off with us."
Yeah, we could just ask her what she knows.
Yeah. First, I think it would be best to ask the Urbot. Ms. Alice, can you give us a snippet of what life is like in the Conclave? What do you do?
Our primary goal is to rescue sentient Urbots and give them a home that is safe from the threat of the Guild of Engineers and the hegemony.
So basically, you are Urbot witness protection.
Yes, we are attempting. Currently, we have no territory to call our own, just a series of hideouts. But we are hoping to establish permanent territory here in the Procyon sector.
Okay, then.
What protections do you actually have for these Urbots?
Secrecy, willingness to sacrifice for one another. Our resources are not impressive compared to, say, hegemony legions, but we are resourceful, and we are clever, and we are committed.
Duly noted.
What? How many Urbots are with the Conclave?
She doesn't answer.
Do we see any expressions on her that? Nope.
It's basically just like a computerized.
The face on the screen it doesn't move a pixel.
It's like that little emoticon. It's just dot dot,
Nope.
and then it's got the.
So that stupid peg shine bright or whatever. It's like those.
Light bright.
Light bright. There you go.
Wow, that brings you back.
Yeah, she says something
we're all showing her age.
she doesn't like, and she rearranges the pegs into a frowny face.
Liam, do you know what a light bright is?
Oh my god.
Google image it, man. This is not dirty porn.
No, I feel old.
So what about I'll ask her, the race of the once entrusted the Urbots with knowledge, which undoubtedly some bots in the Conclave undoubtedly still have. Do Urbots have a sense of responsibility for the knowledge they contain as a secret to themselves?
The Builders made us for many purposes, but the knowledge they gave to us is lost over the eons that have passed between their time and now.
Is it possible that... Oh, sorry.
We seek to understand what their intentions might have been, but we realize that our search may be just as futile as your organic life when you search for your own meaning.
You've not uncovered any of this old knowledge from the Builders?
We have snippets of knowledge here and there, but intact understanding of their society as it came before and what true purpose we were built for, we don't know.
Okay. Okay.
I'm sorry if that answer does not satisfy your curiosity. It does not satisfy us either. We share that interest.
Do you have anything else?
Yeah, if you guys have no more questions, you can leave. She expects a response soon, though. She said 3 days.
3 days, yeah.
All right, we will certainly get back to you on our ability to fulfill your request.
Okay.
All right, so Layla?
Sounds like a plan.
All right, so you pay a visit to the warehouse where they have set up shop. And you immediately notice that a lot of the equipment that you saw before that was out and in use is now being packed up.
Okay.
You find Layla in the middle of directing some people, boxing some stuff up and loading it onto a truck. And she says, good, you're here. As you can see, we are in the process of relocating our operations. We don't want to remain in one place too long to attract undue attention.
It's not,
What's that?
I was just going to ask if something has, encouraged her to move more quickly.
We are following up on other leads as well as our general practice of not wanting to be in one place for too long, especially with sensitive cargo like Anna in tow. My directives are to move frequently. So we have a job for you.
Anna?
What's that?
How is Anna?
She's quite well.
What was your breakthrough?
Well, it's not so much a breakthrough as realizing where the new stumbling block is and figuring out how to overcome it. Giles, and she gestures at Giles, who's off at one of the desks that's still intact, working away, believes that one of the sites he is aware of contains an artifact that we will need in order to decode the information we need. If you can recover it for us, we will be very grateful, and grateful to the tune of 10 credits.
10 is more than 8.
10 is indeed more than 8.
Would it be possible to see Anna and see how she's doing firsthand?
Yeah, certainly. And she shows you over to an office space in the warehouse that's been set aside for Anna, and it's got a bunch of toys and a TV with some children's programming on.
Ren and Stimpy.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's not Ren and Stimpy, though, obviously, because this is the space future. It's Sten and Rimpy.
A distinctly different cartoon.
Yes, extremely. And Anna is just placidly watching the program on TV, sitting amongst a bunch of scattered blocks that have been completely forgotten.
Liam, Ren and Stimpy was a cartoon on Nickelodeon back in the 90s.
Just don't say I don't know. Okay.
Gee, sir, thank you for telling me about the good old days.
That's a great story, Grandpa.
How are they treating you, Anna?
Oh, hello. Very well. I have a lot of toys and this very amusing television show. I like it very much.
They treat you well.
Yes, sometimes I have to sit still for a while and not move, and that's not as fun. But this is fun.
Why do you have to sit still, Anna?
Mr. Giles says he needs to run tests.
What kind of tests? What do they do to you during these tests?
I don't know, actually. I don't really feel anything, but and it's very boring, but when I'm done, I can go back to playing.
Do you see what they're doing to you? Are they sticking something into you, or...?
Something in my back where they access my core. And this is referring to the computer core that is the center of every Urbot.
Well, that doesn't
It's like
sound
the
too
spark.
terrible. I just give her a little pat on the head, like, she seems fine here.
Okay, and she
Do you miss? Are you lonely?
I miss Cho. He was very nice to me. And she seems a little sad.
Yeah. Well,
Do you
yeah.
do you know what show is taking you?
I don't know. He said he was going to
tell
take
you?
me to some people to take care of me. He said they were like me, but am I still going there, or am I going here with these people instead?
What would you like?
I don't know.
Is out of character. Is Layla standing within earshot?
She is.
Okay, I'm just gonna give Emmett a quick little
Yeah. Right.
nudge. Oops, no, on the robot A.
Well, we can say that it looks like we're going to be out and about, and we'll hope to reconnect with you soon. If there's anything that we can do to help you be more comfortable and happy, let us know, Anna.
Okay, bye. And she goes back to watching her show.
Robot child.
Yeah. And so Layla pulls you aside after that and says, yes, so the tests Giles was running on her were to access the memory devices in her core. And that's what we're studying. You've done some good work for us, so I can tell you what makes Anna different and unique is that Urbot memory cores contain an astronomical amount of data. It's truly incredible the amount of data they can store. But the reason that Anna, and Giles has confirmed this, the reason that Anna acts like a child, even though her memory hasn't been wiped in possibly hundreds of years, is her hard drive is full. She can't mature, she can't learn. Because it's full.
It must seem like a pretty small hard drive.
No, it's the same. It's enormous, but it's full of information. And what we're attempting to do is decode that information and make use of it.
Why is she not able to access it?
We don't know. We don't know if this was an accident that made her that way, or someone intentionally tampered with her, or just a fluke, a random fluke. We have no way of knowing right now. We hope to understand with more study, but the amount of data we're talking about is incredible, and to make any sense of it, we need access to more technology. That's why we need you to do this job for us, to recover this artifact.
Do you think other Urbots would be able to access her memory?
Possibly. I don't know why they would. Most Urbots are simple, obedient machines. They're, so long as they follow the strictures of the Guild of Engineers and have their memories wiped every year, they are perfectly compliant, and occasionally quirky, but not really terribly inquisitive or anything.
If you were to compare Anna and some other Urbot on fullness of memory, Anna's at 100%. What would you say like the average is for a regular Urbot? It was like a shot in the dark, doesn't have to be exact.
I guess, with the way their memories get wiped, less than 1%.
Very interesting.
The use them for all sorts of things, as far as we can tell. So they built in extra capacity in case they needed it, I suppose.
Can't remember. Out of character here. Do we know why Layla has such an interest in the Urbots again? I can't remember. I don't have it in my notes.
Um,
Do we
I
know
think it's just
that?
that the Conclave just likes to figure out ancient Earth stuff.
well,
It
yeah,
can
the
unlock.
cult,
Yeah.
yeah, the shorthand for the cult of the Seekers is that they're an imperial cult who establishes, like, who ties sort of a religious significance to exploration and discovery. Going to new places that nobody's been before, and learning secrets that nobody's learned. And their agents are open about the fact that like their biggest goal, at least in the Procyon sector, is opening the Hantu gate in the Iota system, I believe it is.
The reason I was asking is, do we know, the game is
Or no,
called,
sorry, that's in the Holt system.
okay. The game is called Scum and Villainy, so I guess the reason I
Right.
was asking that, do we know if their intentions are pure or not? Like, are they just learning to discover this stuff for?
You're the Scum and Villainy, Matt.
Yeah, yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
they can be too.
They're part of they're like an arm of the hegemony, though, right? They are like the approved cult of the hegemony.
Yeah, imperial cults are basically sort of like religions in the way they interpret what the way is and the power it has and what that means. And the hegemony has a number of cults that are hegemony approved. And that means they can operate publicly and, I don't know, get
Without
tax
scrutiny.
write-offs, whereas, other cults are nominally illegal. Like,
Right.
if you're not an approved cult, you are an illegal cult. In areas like the Procyon sector that are more on the fringes, other cults that aren't approved can operate a little more openly, but still they have to be, they can't really flaunt it. For a long time, the Cult of the Seekers was an illegal cult, but
Right.
with the ascension of the most recent hegemon, his mother is a believer in the Cult of the Seekers, so they suddenly became an
Like
imperial
legitimized.
cult. Yeah, they got legitimized, but they weren't quite ready to grow into that power. They didn't have that base, and a lot of the other imperial cults are sort of blocking them to try and prevent them from getting a foothold.
All right.
So, are they the information that they obtain? It would be reasonable to assume that it would be for self gain to try to establish themselves and like grow their power. Would they be loyal to and kind of like beholden to the hegemon to turn over the information they found? Or do we not? Do we know that, or I don't know.
Let's say you've seen stuff in the news that now that they're a publicly approved cult, that there are certain like frontier expeditions that are the sort of thing that used to be headed entirely by academics is now run by, in part at least, by the Cult of the Seekers. So they're involved in exploration and discovery, archaeology, all sorts of stuff like that.
Do they say like what the ultimate goal for that is? Is like to populate the
No,
hegemon's library?
It's really exploration and discovery for its own sake,
Okay.
because they attach religious significance to that.
Okay. I see no wrong with what they're doing. Is that lane that they're trying to build, would it only be able to be used by this Cult of the Seekers?
Theoretically, no. Basically, interstellar travel is done through jump gates, which are ancient rings that basically are just a wormhole to another system. And in the Holt system, there are two jump gates. One that leads back to the Rin system, where Warren is, that you are in, and one that is inactive.
Right.
And they want to activate it so they can go wherever it leads. Theoretically, if they manage to do this, the Guild of the Starsmiths would get involved in like maintaining it and getting it running and organizing space traffic through it. If that happened.
I don't know about you lot, but if we were a part of that endeavor, that might give us a decent reputation.
There are noble outcomes for both, like forks in the road, if you will.
Yeah.
This is the good. I mean, Anna's not coming to any harm, and the knowledge that she has could open up trade and possibility for countless hundreds of other people.
I think after what we've all seen, this ain't such a bad place for Anna. And
Around.
She's fine.
What'd you say, Matt?
Emmett's starting to come around a little bit. He was
Okay.
leery at first, but he's starting to come around a little bit.
Yeah. Well, Miss Layla, we are very interested in the job that you're offering, and I believe that the rest of the crew is in agreement. If
Claps her hands
we
together.
are,
Excellent. The details are, we have located a ruin, or Mr. Mortimer was aware of a ruin in the Sarhanda, on the planet of Sarhanda, in the Holt system. It's located smack dab in the middle of the night side, so it is dark and it is cold, but we hope that you will not encounter too much difficulty. A word of caution, though. While he was held captive, he was interrogated, and that was one of the locations that he gave up to his captors. So we do not know if you will be the first ones there, but we hope you're the last ones there, and you get what we're after. And
What kind of artifact is this? What are we talking about?
like, is it a jar? Is it a hard drive? A floppy disk? What is it?
so she gives you a little
And yes, I
tablet.
do know what a floppy disk is.
She gives you a little
It's a hard
tablet
drive.
with a picture of an artifact on it. It's it looks definitely to be in make, but it looks very simple. It's basically a foot-long cylinder about 4 inches wide. And it has little lines on it that arc out in like geometric patterns, so it looks kind of like circuitry. It looks to be made of stone, though. Excuse me.
If you guys could come into the possession of other Urbots, would that be, would the cult of the Seekers be willing to pay for this knowledge? Living up to my scum and villainy right there.
We don't have an immediate use for any other Urbots.
Fine.
Not
Urbot
insofar, unless they're unique in the way that Anna is. Really,
I'm not sure.
it's not so much that she's an Urbot; it's that she has this data on her hard drive.
All right.
Tyrion's gonna shoot Mr. Mystic over there a nasty look. Like, I'm an asshole, but I still have standards, motherfucker.
I'll give him an innocent what?
And when we recover this artifact, are we bringing it right back here, or are we going to be in a new location at this point?
We'll be at a new location. We haven't narrowed down exactly where we're going to be, but contact us once you are in possession of it and clear of any pursuers, and we will direct you to our new location.
That sounds good.
Good.
All right. I think that we will definitely be taking you up on this.
Excellent.
Our pilot has already gone to the ship. Look at that.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, so let's take a 5-minute break.
He heard 10 credits and he was just gone.
Need to go preheat the oven. Yeah.
I'll be back in a minute.
And
we're taking a 5-minute break.
Jokes are strong tonight. What are we gonna say to Miss Alice?
I'm typing up notes and I was thinking about that. We can just ghost her, or
Yeah. I think
If we ghosted
Either-
her, is that going to send like a wrong message?
I think we should set her up and then capture her and give her to the cult.
or we could send her to the site and use them as fodder for the 51st Legion.
That's fucked up.
Yeah.
Let's just not dip into the dark end of the spectrum just yet. Let's show the current state of things with the Seekers. It is impossible to rip Anna away from them. She's grown an attachment. It'll be damaging for the Seekers, us, and then the impending heat upon the Conclave. So just like paint it as a bad picture for everybody.
Well, also,
And hopefully
what the
she'll leave us the
Conclave
fuck
wants
alone.
what the Conclave wants is Anna being safe. She's safe where she is right now. So if we just
Yeah,
portray that
she's-
picture, it's not a lie.
Yeah, she's safe, she's comfortable, not
Yeah.
being harmed that we know of, and
I think she would let us know.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I think like the life that I pictured whenever Alice was telling us is like Urbot Witsec.
I know what that is.
It's like a life in hiding. You wouldn't have as much freedom, and probably wouldn't be as comfortable as Anna is now. So like,
Right,
she's
always
the
on the run.
subject of- yeah, she's the subject of
She's
study
still
right now,
always-
but
she's still
she's being
always on
well
the run.
taken care of.
Yeah, and she's still always going to be in the run. She's on the run with the cult right now because they have to keep moving locations.
Yeah, it's just more where she'd be more comfortable, and she seems very comfortable where she is. So,
So all of this is an elaborate way to make us feel better about our choice.
yes. That's what choices are, man. Just justifying the actions you took to not feel bad.
All right, I will be right back.
But yeah, if Alice contacts us again, we're just giving her the spiel about like it would be bad for us, it'd be bad for the Seekers, it'd be bad for the sector, and it'd be very bad for you guys because the Seekers would come howling after their ass.
And it'll be bad for Anna because Anna's in a good place right now.
Yeah. But if she doesn't contact us, we're probably just gonna
Yeah.
not reach out.
So are we doing the mission for preparing for the mission, or are we doing free play?
If you guys have something more that you want to accomplish in free play, we can do that, or we can go straight to mission planning.
Emma does everything else he wants to do, other than maybe make a couple bad drugs for the pilot.
Let's see.
Little
I have
pharmacological landmines.
Two things I want to
Offer
do.
them as a gift for saving his life last time.
I'm gonna blow some cash at some sort of casino, or try to make more anyway,
Okay.
wherever that would be.
Do you want to save this as a downtime action for next time, so we can say this is your save this as a vice. So when you indulge your vice, instead of talking about drugs, you do the gambling instead, and then we can do like a fortune roll to see how the gambling goes.
Sure, we'll do that. And then the second thing I wanted to do was send an encoded message to Alice saying where the cult of the Seekers were last, and she can find Anna there.
Okay. Interesting.
Not gonna lie, I kind of spaced out, so I didn't hear any of that.
Well,
Chris
you
is
said
going-
to
Chris
the
is
old
going against
location.
grain.
What are we doing?
You said send them the old location where they're moving from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Conclave 01?
Yeah. Well, no. I told Alice who was of Conclave 01 where.
The cult of the Seekers. Yeah.
Moved from.
Right.
All right.
If we could get some money out of that situation, it'd be even better.
That's my hope.
All right, so planning. This is an artifact hunt. You have a location and the description of the artifact, which is supposedly in a cave. It's supposed to be abandoned. There are 6 broad plans you can choose from: assault, deception, infiltration, mystic, social, and transport. And most of those aren't really going to be appropriate here. But I will let you choose which one you want to do.
Do we still have the Legion, the 51st Legion uniforms?
Yeah, I was gonna ask if would bringing that along cost me like inventory or something?
No, if they're on the ship. So, when you... No, now that I think about it, so when you acquire an asset like that, that's for use on one mission. So you could... acquire that asset again if you wanted to make use of it, even in a flashback. Or you could start a project to acquire that asset permanently. Or use a ship upgrade to get it.
So it's basically like after we finished that mission, we all had drinks and then just like, oh shit, wine all over my 51st Legion outfit. God damn it, we can't use this again.
Mechanically, we can justify this by saying that it's not just the uniform, it's not just the imposing black and gray jumpsuits. It's also the credentials that went along with it. Identification badges and ID codes that seem legitimate. And in using them on the mission, once they realized that was not a legitimate prisoner transfer, those IDs are all burned.
Yeah. I don't like this. I don't like
We're
this.
saying how we want to go in.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't think we want to do assault, do we? I don't think we have enough manpower.
Yeah, we're not really an assault crew.
Especially if we're going up, especially if the 51st Legion is there, which they may be.
I would lean towards maybe deception.
Let's just skip ahead. If you travel to the planet and you do like a survey of the site from the orbit, you see no activity in that area.
And is there like a system where we can use like scanners to see if there are any other ships in orbit?
Yeah, you could do that if you want it.
I would like to do that.
Okay, so what you'd be doing is you'd be rolling the ship's comms rating. So your current comms rating is 2d6, and you have a long-range scanner, which enables you to use that capability. Or does it do something else? I don't actually remember. Let's look it up. Long-range scanner provides variety of EM spectrum and gravimetric readings, giving crew advance warning up to a dozen light minutes away. So you'd be able to get a good scan of the surrounding space and the ground near your target.
If you hover over it in the spreadsheet, it'll tell you what it does.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Fancy.
Incredible.
Shiny.
So if you wanna use the scanners to do this, the comms rating is 2. So go ahead and roll 2d6.
Doesn't matter who does it?
No.
I'm not
leave it to the,
my dice.
leave it to the pilot.
Yeah,
He's the one messing with all the controls. I'm just standing here looking pretty.
A 4 and a 5.
Is it okay?
4 and a 5? Okay. So you detect a variety of debris in sort of geostationary orbit above the night side of Sanhanda. Sanhanda is a tidally locked planet, so one side of the planet always faces the sun and one side of the planet always faces away. And you're above the dark side here. And There's a bunch of debris. There's some old communications satellites. Some of them are operational. A bunch of them are not. But it's hard to pin down any particular threat if there is one hiding here. But you don't see any ships. You're certain there are no ships in the area.
Can we hack into the comm satellite and see if there's anything to listen to?
Let's see. So you want to go into find one of the comm satellites and
Just
crack
tap
it
into
open just to monitor the communications passing through it?
Yeah.
Okay, so if you were to do this, this would be a rig check.
Okay. I have 2 in rig. Anyone else?
I don't. I have any in rig.
I got
None
nothing right.
So
Okay.
you'll have to, I guess technically what I'm supposed to do here is say which action do you want to use? Rig seems like the obvious one, but there's other ways you could accomplish this theoretically.
No,
So,
I'll do
Yeah,
rig.
Mac could use. I'm not a doctor. I'm joking.
I could.
I'm satellite hacker.
He's got to push himself to do it though. It costs him stress every time.
Also, just because I was curious and I looked it up.
I'm not a
12
doctor. Cost me stress.
I believe so, doesn't it?
Doesn't say it. You can push yourself.
Yeah,
Just
pushing
pushing
yourself. Yeah, pushing yourself
Oh, okay.
uses 2 stress.
Okay.
Normally that gives
For-
you like 1 extra die.
Mm.
And for future reference, because I was curious and looked it up, 12 light minutes is the rough distance from the sun to Mars. So we could have like a 4-planet radius of how far we could scan.
Okay, so that's farther than I assumed 12 light minutes was.
It's far.
You pick
Like
up
we're 8
ships.
light minutes.
Like this isn't a busy planet, but there are ships. There's nobody near you though. Like the night side is not populated. There is very little going on there. Anybody doing business on the night side of the planet generally doesn't want to be noticed either.
Right.
Now, how dark is the night side? I'm assuming there are still like lights on and things like that. Like, is it a busy like city atmosphere with lights on it, or is it like pitch black? Like,
No, Sanhanda is mostly unsettled, and really the only settled part is the twilight area between the two, because the day side is extremely hot and arid, and the night side is cold and dark as shit.
We've all seen Star Trek Nemesis.
Yep.
At some point.
Picture the planet Remus. All the Remans live on the dark side.
So I should roll rig to do that?
Sure.
Okay. 5 and a tree.
5 and a 3. Alright, so mixed results. So what did you want to learn here?
To see if there was if we could pick up anything suspicious or clandestine that was being routed through that satellite.
You find record that there are a number of transmissions that are coming going all the time, but you isolate one that started where approximately the same time that you came into position above the site.
Mm-hmm.
But you aren't able to figure out where it's going.
Was it like what kind of was it like voice chatter or just something else?
Nope, just a machine signal,
Roger.
just like on and off. You aren't really able to make sense of it. You just know it started around the time you arrived, and it's still
Okay.
going.
So shall we do a infiltration?
Okay, so you're trying to sneak in.
yeah, I think it'll be good.
I'd be all right with that.
Okay.
I've got one in Skulk, so at least I'm not too terribly fucked.
All right.
You know.
And so what is your point of infiltration? How are you sneaking in here? What is the actual sneak part?
Sneaky.
Would we want to?
We all get cardboard boxes, and we just all shuffle along the ground. Whenever someone sees us, we just stop.
Yeah.
Trying to solid snake our way through this shit.
I guess.
Well, we're on the ship. How are we
boxes
getting
up to
to? Do we want to do the sneak of like getting from the ship to the ground to make it seem like, we're still on
Is
the
this
ship?
like what kind of terrain is this? It's like, and then the ruins. What kind of like is this like in a cave? Is this like?
Yeah, so your intel suggested that this was a cave in the side of a cliff, at the base of a cliff,
Okay.
in a fairly mountainous region.
So we're not going to be able to land our ship.
No, you'll be able to land, but it's
We don't. Okay.
there's limited space.
We can bring the ship in low level, land somewhere, and then sort of sneak in.
Dumb plan. You said that there's like debris and like meteors, just kind of around the planet.
Mm-hmm.
I'll pitch the idea that we wait for, some of that debris to fall back to the planet, and then kind of like coast along with it, kind of disguise ourselves amongst the debris.
Mm-hmm.
And
Float
then
away with the rest of the trash.
yeah, and then once
Nice
we
reference.
yeah, and once we enter to the atmosphere, we dip to a level that's not really watched. I guess it's up here. It's not being able to come out here.
I get what you're saying. I follow you.
You get me?
Yeah.
To blend in with the meteor, blend in with the stuff falling to the planet.
Yeah. Like nobody's gonna be
So
looking at the meteor shower and being like, "Hey, we should scan that shit." And then kind
There
of
are
fly
no
below
life forms on
radar.
board, sir. I can do this all night.
Yeah. He's got the Star Wars script open right there on the other screen.
Nice.
Okay, so let's ask our engagement roll questions here. You get 1 die for sheer luck. And is this operation particularly bold or daring?
Am I rolling 1 die? Anyone else?
No, hold on. We got to ask the questions to figure out how many dice. You start with 1. You get 1 for free. Is this operation particularly bold or daring?
Let's say no, because we're not anticipating anybody to be here.
Okay. Is this operation overly complex or contingent on many factors? I think not.
I don't think so either.
Does
I
this
think the
plan?
most- yeah.
Does this plan's detail expose a vulnerability of the target or hit them where they're weakest? Or is the target strongest against this approach?
Yes. Stupidity. Yes.
Uh-huh.
So you think it exploits a weakness?
There's only one way in, and we're going that one way in.
Oh, so you think this is hitting them where they're strongest?
No. Wait, say the question again.
So does this plan's detail, the falling star thing, expose a vulnerability of the target or hit them where they're weakest?
No.
Or is the target strongest against this approach, or do they have particular defenses or special preparations?
So I would think they're strongest against this defense, right? Because
I think against the detail of
fear with debris isn't the only part of the plan. The rest of it is landing, sneaking up to the only entrance to these ruins.
We also got to keep in mind that some party may know we're coming because that signal started coming out as soon as we jumped in.
Yeah.
So I don't know where that would factor in.
Let's just say no to both and leave it at an even 1 die still.
We
Can any of your friends or contacts provide aid or insight in this operation?
It was called Alban.
I
that'll go well.
I have
I
a maybe a Xeno or
Okay.
a Mystic Goods supplier.
Okay.
Lacks the Xeno.
Okay.
Maybe he could
how
be
would he
aware.
How would he help?
Perhaps like he has, like he's familiar with this area,
Okay.
and he could give us advice about like how to find, like how to navigate, like underneath the tops, so we can't be seen from above or something like that.
Okay.
Like either through tunnels or like with some kind of overhead cover with our ship through our ship.
And this is Lax. So he's a well-traveled Xeno fellow. How do you know him?
This goes back to when he was like a science person, and they
Science
weren't
man.
very science mad. He can do anything a science can. um, he was like a xenoanthropologist, so he was interested in other cultures, but the hegemony wasn't right there because they're like white supremacist a little bit, right? They're like human centric.
Yeah, they tend to be.
But Lyndon has always been like interested in other cultures, so he was able to like work with him and like get information, and also keep him aware of when people would go through, so he wouldn't like run into trouble or something like that.
Okay.
It was like a mutually beneficial relationship.
Okay. All right. So yeah, take 1 die for that.
Okay, so that's 2.
And I'm looking over the other ones that aren't for you to consider. I don't see any other changes. So 2 dice. Who wants to make the roll for us?
the last couple.
I'll say, Mike, would you care to do it? Because you got us that extra die.
Okay. I don't even have dice out, but here we go. Look at this. And you know that it's going to be a good roll when it's coming out of the Crown Royal bag.
Nice big old sack.
Thank you.
You jangle sack.
The shiny math rocks go click clack.
Look at this. That hurts when I do that. Okay. I got 2 3s, so you know that.
Okay.
That's a medium-sized oof.
Yep. Last time Mike rolls.
All right. So a bad result. You're in a desperate position when the action starts.
Ooh. That's unnerving.
Interesting.
You say interesting, I say unnerving.
Yeah. So you embark on your plan. You find a moderate-sized little meteorite, and you use the ship's grappling hook to sort of fling it at the planet, and you follow it down. And you picked a really good angle for it to come down at. Very accurate, in fact. So accurate that it lands very close to the site. And there's a reasonable sized crater in the ground that you can see as you're braking the ship once you get like below a couple thousand feet there. You touch down near the cave entrance. And as you come out, there's still dust in the air. but you hear sort of... it's like a noise, but it almost feels like it's beyond the edge of hearing, like coming in and out past that range. And it's like this ethereal screaming. And you can't really even tell where it's coming from, but it does seem to be getting louder as you move towards the cave.
Or before we leave, is it possible for Chris to do another scan, like on the ground, now that we're closer to whatever, to see if... I don't know.
What do you want to learn?
Just if there are any other, like...
Ship sensors pick up what that noise is and interpret it.
Sure, let's not even roll. You try to turn on the ship sensors, and they just go fucking nuts. They are all over the place.
Was it a mechanical sound? Was it like an animal sound? Like, do we know what kind of sound it was?
It's kind of like nothing you've ever heard before. Although I'll say that Lyndon's had dreams where he's heard sounds like this before.
Oh, dear Christ.
Is it possible to do a flashback and study the planet that we're going to before we actually go there, just to see if there's...
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'd like to do a flashback and study the planet, see what some of the indigenous species are, like if there's anything there we should be careful of that maybe isn't, a rival faction or something like that. Just to see if there's anything like on the ground that we weren't necessarily expecting that we could be on the lookout for and prevent.
So do you want to do a study roll?
Yeah, I'll do a study roll.
Okay. Go for it.
Does the flashback cost 1 stress, right?
This is... Yeah, it depends on the roll itself. I think this is a little specific, so it'll cost you 1 stress.
1 stress?
Yeah.
Oh, dice roller, please be nicer to me this time. $2d6 and that. Come on, baby. Oh, a 6 and a 4. Finally, some good rolls.
Nice.
Okay. So you learn that a lot of the native animal life is the sort you would expect on a desert planet. Nothing really exciting there, and certainly nothing that would make a sound like what you're hearing. You did notice, however, that because you decided to just on a whim check relic sites that were located on the planet as well to see if that changed the behavior of local wildlife. And while it didn't make any noticeable difference in local wildlife, some expeditions encountered extremely dangerous way creatures. So creatures that are sort of part of the way and not entirely in the physical realm.
Do we know anything more specific about them, or would that be another role, or?
So a lot of the descriptions from the survivors of these encounters describe them as like various aquatic animals swimming through the air, and they didn't like having their nests disturbed, and they would swarm people that they saw as invaders.
Super.
So can
Is this information relayed to us?
Mike, can you commune with the way and sort of try to speak to them? And
That's what I was planning on doing. I thought you were texting me or something like that.
oh, no.
Yeah, I can try that.
All right.
Attune.
So what are you trying to do? You're trying to.
Well, if Matt relayed that information that these
Yeah, I would
things
relay.
are being disturbed because it's an Ur site and they might be on the defensive because
Well, you guys haven't even entered the site yet. The reason you can hear this is because there was a massive meteor strike nearby.
Gotcha. So, would it be possible to like communicate if it's if they're thought to be some kind of like living thing that is sensitive to the relics or the to try to communicate with them through the way and just to like calm them or it's like animal handling with
Spirit animals.
you know.
I would say that if you wanted to do that here, where you couldn't actually see them and understand exactly where they are, the effect would be reduced to
Gotcha.
0 effectively.
Gotcha. Okay, I'll just say that we can do that, but we would have to get closer. Let's see what we're dealing with.
You would have to be able to comprehend the specific creatures in order for it to be more effective.
Okay.
Just knowing
So
they're
if
there
we-
somewhere in the distance makes it
If we
difficult.
run into Space Cthulhu, please make nice with them, Lyndon. I am not fond of tentacles.
So before we head out, should we determine our loadout is?
Yeah.
Call.
Yeah.
Excuse
Yeah,
me.
if you guys want to make any adjustments to that, go ahead.
Also, question.
You get 3.
Because I forget. I did an acquire asset on the last downtime. Do I burn that in a flashback or do I burn that now?
You would set aside an acquire asset action. So you do a flashback in order to do it anytime you want it.
Okay.
If there's
Good.
something you want right now, you can do it right now. But you can wait until you need something more specific.
Currently, the only thing that Tyrion needs is a new set of briefs and some rosary to hide the shame and scare off the scary scaries.
Mm-hmm.
But
Okay.
as it stands, I do not need it.
Okay. So what do you guys do?
Tyrion, seriously, there's no one to bullshit.
Yeah, I will. I can like take lead if I suspect that these things are
Okay.
like mystical or whatever. Like
Telepathic screaming that we don't know. Yeah, I think your
Yeah.
mission lead on this one, dog.
Can do.
Okay. Your let's see. So you lead ahead. You approach the cliff wall, and there's a reasonably large size opening at the base, probably about 5 meters high. But as you enter into this crevice, it narrows down and down until it's a fairly snug passage that winds down around into the face of this cliff until it opens up into a wider chamber below. There's it's obviously an old cave, old enough that it's got stalactites and stalagmites and just general wetness everywhere. But as you cast your flashlights around, I assume you brought flashlights. Yeah. As you cast your
Standard
flashlights
issue.
around, you can't help but notice that the far side of this chamber is, on the far wall, there is a very large triangular door with the base of the triangle along the ground.
Triangles, never a good thing.
It appears to be incredibly smooth stone, and when the light from your flashlight catches it at just the right angle, it has sort of that circuitry sort of pattern that you saw on the relic itself. You know,
Looks like we're at the right spot.
you do notice, however, that as you're standing in front of this door, there is light emitting from the edges of this chamber that is not coming from your flashlights. It's sort of an eerie blue glow.
Is it coming from the door or like the chamber, like the room that we are in?
The room that you're in. So what do you guys do?
Use my acquire assets to get a second pair of briefs.
Okay.
Is
No,
there
what
how far down the cliff face is it to the bottom of the chamber?
It was hard to say because there was a lot of twists and turns through this narrow little tunnel. But it's about it was probably about 200 or 300 meters going down.
Okay.
Are there any like access panels on the wall near the door? Is
None
there
that you see?
I'll just attempt to walk up to the front doors.
Do we want to study it before we try anything, or just go in and
I
try
was just
something?
gonna go in.
All right.
Who the fuck just tried to speak friend and enter? Which one of you fuck?
Nerds. All right, so what are you guys doing?
I'm just gonna approach the door.
Okay. You approach the door.
All right.
It is approached.
All right.
That's me.
Perfect.
Good job,
So,
Mike.
yes, I got this, guys. So
Knock
there
on
are
the door.
there are no like indicators or buttons or anything like
Uh,
little bulby droids that pop its head out and say "Ichuta."
Jesus Christ, Mike.
Roll tonight.
Yeah,
that's right.
jeez.
Scotch, man.
No, so you don't see any obvious press button here to open. There are, like, if you sort of like unfocus your eyes a little bit, it almost seems like the circuitry pattern on the door like is trying to draw the eye to certain locations, but you can't really be sure. If you wanted to learn more about that, you could study, you could attune, or you could just whip out the detonators and blow a hole in it, however you want to proceed.
I'll probably try to attune to it.
Okay. So how do you go about attuning? Tell me about the process.
I can walk up to it and like press my hands on it and like trace and follow circuitry and see if I have any if that like it makes me think about like the relic that kind of like unlocked the way for me to try to see if that if I have any like reaction to that.
Okay. So you place your hand on the door and you start channeling your mind into it. And as you do so, that sort of ethereal screaming sound sort of seems to rise from the background and fill the chamber around you.
Good.
And you notice that there are what look like small little fish, like little goldfish-sized things, floating out of the wall and sort of aimlessly floating in little small schools, and they're sort of gradually coming in your direction.
Axtrom's blaster.
Haha. I'll kind of like go with what I was planning on doing and try to like
Okay. So
convince them that we're calm and that that everything is okay. And
so you want to stop working on the door to try and calm them down?
I guess, yeah.
Okay. So this would be a tune as well, I suppose?
That's what I would attempt. Yeah. All right. I don't know how I'm going to show you this, but you got a 6 and a 2.
Okay.
Here you go.
That's okay.
Crotch
okay.
shot.
If you want to lie to me about what's
I'm
on your
working.
dice to make yourself feel better, you can absolutely do that.
I won't do that.
Lying to the GM is grounds for automatic smiting.
TPK, ready go.
Yeah, so you notice you abort your attempt to open the door, and the creatures, you sort of reach out to the creatures and try to calm them. Is that what you're trying to do?
Well, just based on what Matt was telling me before, that these things might be pissed off because they perceive us as threats, or that we're invading their territory or something like that. So I'll try to communicate to them that we're not threatening and that we're not here to
Okay.
yeah.
So with a success, what we'll do here is we'll say that the situation has changed from desperate to risky. So the creatures have calmed somewhat, but they aren't leaving. This is their territory, but they seem less agitated. They're moving less erratically. So, and go ahead and mark one experience in Resolve, because you made a desperate roll there.
Where does that show?
You see the tracker, the experience tracker for Resolve?
Oh,
On your
okay.
sheet?
Yep. Sorry.
Yep.
Thanks.
Yep, that right there.
Little bitch.
So go ahead and mark an experience point in Resolve. And yep, that calms them somewhat. They're still there, but
And I'll tell the pilot to put his blaster away.
does the pilot put his blaster away?
Reluctantly.
Tyrion is stiff as a fucking board right now. Just they can smell fear. They can smell fear. They can smell fear.
Your camera is frozen for us, Liam.
Shit. Fuck. Hang on.
In a nice pensive look, though.
Yes, it was very contemplative. Contemplative.
Am I here?
Yep.
Yep.
So, Mike, did you want to resume your attempt to attune the door open?
Would I need to? I can re-roll that or roll a tune.
Yeah, roll another attune check for that, because that's going to
A 4 and a 5.
Okay. So, let's see. Let me check one thing real quick.
Okay.
Just wanted to get an idea for exactly how to handle that. So,
Fuckers.
Yes.
Don't have to work.
It doesn't have to work.
It's from a song.
Oh.
So you find a way to trigger a command to get the doors to open, and as they do, little long, thin rectangular sections of the door, one by one, start sliding away. So it's like a lattice like this, but it's not entirely.
It's like overlapping or something like
Yeah,
that.
it's not regular or anything. It's very arbitrary in what's coming out where and which direction. But about halfway through this process, there's sort of a grinding and a crunch, and it just sort of stops. And all of a sudden the agitated noise from the way creatures picks up again, and they start moving in your direction. You do notice that there are certain parts of the door that with some effort you can squeeze through. but it will slow you down as you try to pass through there.
I can start ushering these guys through, and I can attempt to like calm them again, I guess.
Okay. So you want to calm them while somebody else goes in?
Yeah.
I'll go through first, I guess.
Okay. Rather than just having you roll to try and calm these things down over and over again, let's say that you're maintaining that effort to try and keep them calm,
Okay.
and the end result is that they're, rather than rushing at you and swarming you, they're sort of slowly drifting in your direction.
Okay.
So they're like this tide that's rolling in on you.
So it's like go 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 go.
Yeah, as you come in on the other side, there are a series of pedestals that you cast your flashlights around, and most of them have nothing on them. But you do see one in the center has the artifact that was described in the information Layla gave you.
The bag of sand, like weigh it back and forth.
My God, he's on a roll.
Exit out of here?
What's that?
Is there another exit out of here, or is that the only one?
You don't see one immediately. If you want to search for one, you can.
I do. Yes, I will search for one.
Okay. How do you go about doing that? What action are you taking? Chris?
I'm looking at the actions.
Oh, okay.
If you don't have a point in a certain action, can you just not roll it, or do you like take a stress to roll it?
So, if you don't have any points in an action you want to take, you roll 2d6, but you take the lowest.
That's cool.
Yeah, which
know.
sucks. But remember, you can always push yourself to instead just roll one die.
So I have one.
Or you can use a gambit to get another die, that sort of thing.
Did all of us go in there, or is it just Chris that went in?
Chris was the first one to go in, but I was holding off the swimming fishies while everybody got in.
Yeah, I'll say
following.
Tyrion tries to squeeze in too to try and get away from the ghost piranhas.
Same with them.
Okay, so everybody goes in. Cool. Yeah, so do you want to study? Do you want to, like, run around as fast as you can? Maybe use scramble? How do you want to go about this?
I mean, I'll just, I guess I'll scramble around. Sounds like something he would do. But I don't have any points in that, so 2d6?
2d6 take the lowest, but remember, you can also push yourself. You can use a gambit, and you can get assistance.
So,
And
Currently,
we have one gambit right now.
2. Mike did a risky action opening the... Well, he did a risky action opening the door, so that gets you a gambit. Desperate gets you experience.
Okay.
and someone would assist me in scrambling around looking for another exit.
Depends how far we are in this mission. I have 5 stress already.
Wow.
I've got 4.
I have 4 too.
I'll
The least of everybody.
I'll do it. I'll do it. I'll assist.
I mean,
Come
we
on.
have 2 gambits. We could spend a gambit.
Against me, and what does that do? So if I don't have a skill, right, that's 2, right? But then he helps, that's down to 1. But
Yep.
what if I put myself as well?
Now you're up to 2, but you're taking the highest.
Nice. Do that.
Okay, so I'll go ahead and mark another stress.
How many stress? One strength too, right?
So Tyrion's assisting, and you're using a gambit. Is that right, Chris?
No, I'm pushing.
You're pushing yourself, so take 2 stress.
Okay.
Did you want to use a gambit as well?
No, we can save those until the boss comes out.
You're assuming there's a boss here.
Well, it's just little space piranhas right now. We're waiting for, the actual hentai monster to descend upon us.
Well,
We know you're hiding one.
A 3 and a 2?
Oh, shit.
3 and a 1. Okay. So yeah, you don't...
fun shit.
Yeah, you don't find shit.
I start
And in
bleeding.
fact, you blunder into a one of the pedestals, knocking it over. And
Not the effect on it, right?
no, one of the ones on the periphery of the room, and it crashes down, and what appears to be like a giant glowing blue eel sort of comes out of the floor in the area of it. So
I'm gonna blast.
you're gonna blast it.
You're gonna need a pair of briefs.
Oh, no.
So this is a way creature. So your impact upon this thing is going to be pretty minor.
So don't blast it.
Feel free to blast it if you want to, but what I'm telling you is this is a risky situation, and your effect is going to be limited.
And Tyrion attempt to remove the artifact from the thingy and
Can we?
Indiana Jones that shit.
How about I'm gonna yell? I'm gonna yell to how's your name again? Well, you're still dealing with the ones on the other side of the door, right?
How do you attune?
I would've
'Cause
come in.
I have I'm a doctor, not a ... I could use here.
Yeah.
Not a mystic.
To gain 2 and attune. How does attune work? Because I've never actually looked at it since I'm a medic.
So if you were looking to grab the artifact here, attune would be the right skill to use. The book specifically calls for attune in order to safely handle an artifact, especially if you don't know what it is. Basically, attune lets you grab it without accidentally activating something on it to, scatter all the molecules in your hand across the room.
So, Emmett,
Hmm?
you have a tune?
I do not, but I have my starting ability is I'm a doctor, not a ...
Not
So
a
I can
mystic.
push myself to roll my doctor rating, which is 2, while performing a different action.
Gotcha. That's pretty cool. Why don't you grab the artifact? I have.
Say with patient research or posting taught me this trick. I'd probably say one of the scumbags that I sold drugs to at one point was a trippy kind of guy that liked to do weird things and attune and speak to the way and all that stuff, and taught me a couple tricks on how to do it.
Man, I get
What was
these
his
weird
trick? What was
artifacts
his
and I
trick?
grind them up and I snort it.
Hmm?
What was his trick? What was his one weird trick? Way creatures hate this.
How's it go?
That was the Ghostbusters. That was the Ghostbusters.
It was the thumb thing, that thing.
This thing.
Yeah, that's right. Oh my god!
He's a witch! Burn him!
This guy was a wicked druggie, so his way what I would assume would be really weird, like doing some stupid chant. They would make they would just be for the normal person looking at him, it would be the stupidest thing. So as I'm doing this, you guys are all looking at me like, what the fuck is he doing? Kind of a thing would be my guess if I had to pick a way.
Like, I'm imagining a rain dance, but even more exaggerated.
Huh?
Ooga chaka, ooga, ooga, ooga
Yeah, I'm
chaka.
imagining a rain dance, but extremely over-exaggerated.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay, so Tyrion and Pax are freaking out about the eel coming off the floor. Mike is trying to communicate with the fish,
Oh, no.
like
So
fucking Aquaman. And in the background, he's doing a chant and a dance before he picks up the artifact.
Right. So he's going to do that. I have I'm gonna try to like seeing what Mike is doing with the guy with the goldfish out there. I'm gonna try to do the same thing to the eel, and like just because I have no experience in that whatsoever, so I'm just gonna hold out my hand and be like, "Go back."
All right, let's resolve the rain dance first to grab the artifact, and then we'll do your Jedi mind trick on the glowy snake thing.
I gave myself 2 more stress for that, so now I'm up to 7.
Okay.
Tyrion's gonna shit his pants for the third time.
And we still have 2 gambits.
Nathan,
I would use a gambit.
Yeah, I
shoot
would say
from
let's
the
use a gambit on this one because we need all the luck we can get on this one.
Yeah, actually, we've got 3 gambits now because Chris did his last roll as a risky without using one. So 3 gambits.
This is nice.
All right,
was
so
that
use
your
1
push
gambit.
yourself
That
forward?
puts us up 3d6.
Yeah, Chris, you got 2 stress from pushing yourself.
All right, so you use a gambit. Yeah, that gives you 3 dice here.
3d6. Oh, cross your fingers, boys.
Hey,
3, 5, and a
Ooh.
1.
Yikes.
All right. Let's see.
Can I assist him?
If you're in a position to do so, say how you assist him and spend 1 stress.
Drop my focus from the other fish and turn to face him. And
Okay. When you assist, though, that does expose you to whatever consequences of the action.
Nice. All right.
So, Matt, roll 1 more die.
3.
Okay. So, mixed result here. So, let's see. And so, exactly how are you helping Linda?
If I've had experience with a relic before, maybe I can coach him, or that's what I was thinking. I was like, maybe I could coach him.
Are you?
Tom.
Did you go up?
Red
Are you
wire,
standing?
then the blue wire.
Are you standing across the room from him, or did you come up to him and
No. No, I was staying inside the door trying to hold back the fish, but now I'm just turning my back on them and yelling from across the room.
Okay. So I don't So you Lyndon, you pick, or Emmett, you pick up the artifact, and you think you mostly got a good handle on it, but you must have done something because it starts glowing really brightly. So brightly, in fact, that you are almost completely blinded by it. You're going to take, you and Lyndon, because you were both looking at it, are going to take
2d6 radiant damage.
level 2 harm blinded.
Uh-oh.
Good.
Unless you guys want to resist.
Yeah.
How do you resist?
So resist means you would roll the associated attribute, so insight, prowess, or resolve. You would roll a number of dice equal to the number of skills that have points in them there. And then you subtract the highest number rolled from 6, and that's how much stress you take in order to not suffer that harm.
So would that be prowess or resolve to resist?
I think it would actually be insight, because it is your visual perception, so being able to see and study things rather than
So it's
prowess
the
is
total
for
number. So it would be the total number of X's under insight. If I had 2 for doctor and 2 for study, that would be 4.
no, that'd be 2. It's the total number of skills that have at least
Okay.
1 X in them.
Okay.
That's
Total
why there's
number of
that dashed line on that first column between
Yeah.
1 and 2.
Yeah. So
it costs how much stress to resist?
the amount of stress it costs is what the die roll is for.
6 minus 2, essentially.
6 minus what the highest roll on 2d6.
So 2d6,
Yeah.
right? And if you roll a 6 minus 6, it costs 0 stress to resist. Right?
Okay.
If you roll a 2, it costs 4 stress to resist.
I only have 2 stress left.
We'll roll 2 dice and find out.
You can just take the harm.
So with Mike, with Lyndon, can I still do the doctor thing if I'm blinded? Like, would that be by muscle memory?
So you would take -1 die on the check.
So it'd just be a 1. Okay. And what happens if I go over my stress? I take a trauma?
Yeah.
And how do traumas get healed?
They don't.
They don't.
I think I'll stick with the 2 harm and the blue.
All right. Go ahead and mark
And the
down.
blind. Those can get healed, right?
Yeah.
You have the
Level 2
best.
harm is slower to heal. Like,
Yeah.
you might not be full. Even if you use both your downtime actions, there's a chance you won't have it fully healed by the next mission.
Okay. And I can't
You
patch
have-
myself, can I?
Hmm?
I can't patch myself, can I?
What is
May
the
doctor
skill set?
someone during a job to allow them to ignore the effects of the harm penalty.
I'll
You
help
are
with-
someone, not someone else.
Where's your med kit? I'll help you.
Huh?
Where's your med kit? I'll help you.
I do have a med kit. I have a fine med kit. Better
Nice.
stocked than the standard. Skin staples, diagnostic hand scanners, synth flesh, bone
Yeah.
stabilizers, spray hypos, anti-venom, and a wider selection of drugs.
Okay.
I don't know if any of that
Yeah,
would do
but
anything.
So
fucking addicts will be great.
Yeah, a less wide selection of drugs after Chris's character has rat fucked it.
So Matt, you're taking the level 2 harm blinded here?
You have a better an opportunity to resist it than I do.
Yeah, but I can
Insight.
heal- but I have a chance to heal you is the thing. I'm only going to get one dice out of it is the only thing, but if I take the chance to resist it, I could take a trauma. And then what happens to my stress if I take a trauma? Does that get reset?
So, yeah.
Yes. Yeah, your stress gets reset to 0 if you take a trauma.
You know what? Fuck it, I'll roll. What the hell?
Okay.
There we
Here
go.
it is.
Big money.
So 2d6, Matt.
8 dice. Seriously, Jesus Christ. 2d6. No, and I want a higher number here. Don't
Yes. Yeah.
Very,
Could be
very
fucking
high.
1 or 2 that I need.
There you go.
5. You
There
take
it
1
is.
stress. Just 1 stress.
Ooh,
A little nerve wracking.
the skin of your goddamn teeth.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Okay.
Lyndon, are you resisting the blinded
Yeah, I'll try to
consequence?
resist.
Okay. So if I'm looking at your character sheet, you'd be rolling 1d6
1.
here.
Yeah. So as long as I don't roll a 1, I'll be okay. I have a 5 too.
Okay. Good. So you take 1 stress.
1 stress. Yeah.
As long as I don't roll a 1. That's like the worst thing you could say before rolling a die.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Right.
Question:
Well-
Did I freeze on everyone's screen again?
You did.
Permanent.
You're
You're
adorable,
biting
though.
Someone screenshot that.
Nope.
Damn it.
Ah.
Yeah, there you go.
There it is.
I'm just sitting there like,
Okay.
Okay.
I'm dainty and adorable. Teehee.
So you guys
I-
managed to shield your eyes just in time as you contemplate how bad that would have been if you did not. But the artifact is now in hand and is no longer a flashbang.
okay.
Oh, shit.
I
boys.
have
Time to go.
I have a question.
Yep.
So we did a roll earlier to kind of like understand way creatures, sort
Mhm.
of.
Yep.
would I know what they're like attracted to? Is it like body heat, or they'd go off
Traps.
site? Like, how do they know where we are? Because that might dictate what I use my acquire asset for.
So, are you intending to use your acquire asset to get way creature bait? Broadly speaking?
Kinda. Like,
Okay.
I'm trying to figure out how to use this thing to get past them. Like, I don't know if it's as simple as like bringing along a bunny rabbit and just like throwing it in the corner and be like, "Go get that," or do I have to have like a portable shield emitter or a cloaking device, a teleporter? I don't know. I want to get past these things. Tyrion does not like the ghost piranhas.
What's that, Matt?
I'm carrying candies and treats if we want to, shove something in a cookie to hand to him.
Like, Tyrion just wants to have something to get him past these things.
So, if you want to use your flashback to get something to attract way creatures away from you, you can do that. I'm going to say that's a very specific thing, so this flashback will cost you 2 stress.
Like, look at my friend Lyndon. He's delicious.
Would this benefit only me, or would it help the crew?
If you want to use it to help the crew, absolutely.
It would be preferable if we all got out of here without becoming chum.
Okay. All right. So you're gonna make a acquire asset roll. You'd be rolling 1 die for our crew quality here. Let's see. Let's say you find a mystic who warns you of terrible dangers from way creatures should you encounter artifact sites. But he says this canister that's wrapped in like prayers on long strips of paper that are wrapped around and around and around it. He says if you break this open, they will be attracted to it, and you can make your escape.
As a player, do I know if he's bullshitting me or not?
He is absolutely certain of what he's saying.
He's
That
just
means
fucking
absolutely
crazy.
nothing to me at this point.
Well, you arrived at him by asking around for one of the best mystics to advise you.
Okay. Had I used a gambit in this situation to get a second die? Because we've only
Yeah,
used
I
one.
don't
We still
see why
have
not.
2.
Yeah, you're on the mission
it-
now, so you can use it. So yeah, I don't see why not.
Yeah. Everybody cool with that?
Yeah, we have 2 left, or 1 left.
1 left
after
now.
this.
2 left. Now 1 left, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, 2d6. My metal dice have been marinating in this lovely box for an entire week. So
Like half stat, half mass right here.
yes, let us hope that brings us luck. Big money, no whammies.
He's gonna break through the top of his desk with those metal dice there.
It's plastic. Okay, so first one wasn't all that great. It was a 2. I'm scared to look. It's a 6. I'm picking it straight up.
That is pretty nice.
Yeah.
That is nice.
Yes, it is very nice. I am very fond of the D20. It is.
That's good. That's hot.
Nice.
All right.
Thank you, everybody, for the good luck.
We just had to fuck with you on the first roll there. Thank goodness you used a gambit.
Okay.
Okay, so
Yeah, you
I
acquire
know.
a tube of prayer sealed way creature bait.
Don't worry, guys. I have Mystic Chum.
Mystic Chum Bucket.
Get
The-
the bloody hell out of here.
The prayers are written in the language of Esperanto.
Yes. So, how do you use it? I assume you're using it.
So we got what we need and we're ready to go out the fucking door, everybody?
Yeah.
Am I
Okay.
not resolving the eel thing or no?
Oh, yes. So let's say you're pulling this out of your britches, your dirty, dirty britches, as Pax is resolving his fight with the eel. So what were you doing with the eel?
So I have one notch in a tune, but I've never done anything with it. So I'm just sort of copying Lyndon, and I'm just gonna be like, go back, go away.
It's like this.
Yeah.
It's the equivalent of
Sissy
just
fight.
thinking happy thoughts and hoping the demons go away.
Okay.
Yeah. 1d6, right?
Yep.
6.
Oh,
All right. You sort of wiggle your fingers at it, and it's sort of like its head sort of bobs up and down with the fingers, and then it
Motherfucker.
fucks right off.
it's the best and dumbest roll ever. I love it.
All right. So what are you doing with your Mystic Chum Bucket?
Okay, so
I'm undermining
Tell
the fiction
everybody-
here. I'm sorry.
I just look at everybody. Oh, if we are quite ready to fuck right off, please, everybody gather on one side of the door, and I take the magic fish bait and just toss it on the other side of the door and try and get them to go away from us so we can slip past them through the door.
So what role would this be?
I don't know. I am very nervous of what you say. Can I also sway the fish to go the other way?
You know what? This is kind of sway. In a way.
I'll take it. I'll fucking take it.
So go ahead and roll us a sway.
Okay, so I already hit 2d6 in this, so this should be pretty nice.
Six.
Okay.
Okay. Another one.
So you chuck the canister at the far wall, and it shatters, casting like this orange cloud over the surrounding area. And as soon as it breaks open, that psychic screaming sound intensifies like threefold, and all the way creatures just make a fucking beeline towards it and are swimming around each other and through each other and through the wall, just losing their fucking minds.
I also tried rolling a second time to see if I got another 6. It was a 4. So
Okay. I think in all that would have been the same result. I can't make that result any more critical success than it was.
oh, everybody, and this one's for you, Mike. Run, you fools!
I believe it's fly, you fools.
Ooh.
Okay, listen here. We aren't on jetpacks.
Okay. The
right.
hobbits weren't either, my friend.
All right. So unless somebody wants to hang around any longer, you guys can make your escape.
Yes.
Yes,
right.
very much so, please.
Yeah, you make your way back to the ship. And as you are taking off, you have a sensor proximity alarm go off, and you receive a hail.
I'll answer it.
The face that greets you on the other side is an unpleasantly familiar one. It's your favorite guy in the world, Choss. And hey, Pax, how you doing, buddy?
I got your message, and I just wanted to stop by and see how you were doing, and kill you if you don't give us the artifact that you just recovered. My employer's really interested in getting their hands on it, so be a dear and just set it down on the ground before you take off, and then you can fuck right the hell off, and we'll grab that from you.
Oh,
He's gonna
yeah.
put himself on mute and ask Tyrion if he has any more of those canisters with him.
Do I?
So possibly, but the ship in question is in low orbit above you currently.
Mhm.
Do you have another canister?
Yes.
Okay, you've got another canister.
Sweet. Can you put that into what kind of weapons does the ship have again?
Currently, you have a grappling hook.
That's it. So okay.
Do any of you have a detonator?
Afraid not.
Nope.
Given that you're on the ship, we could say you guys could rustle one up.
Okay.
Since we're here.
I didn't take that. I took hacking tools.
That's what I.
I'm gonna put it back on mute rather. I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, here's the thing, Pax, old buddy, old pal. We weren't too interested in going into that cave, so we were happy to let you guys go in and get it for us. But we saw you coming out, and we know you got it. So you're going to give it to us, or we're going to kill you and
How did they even
scoop
find
it out of
us?
the wreckage of your ship.
How are you gonna do that from way up there?
Well, we'll swoop in and murder you horribly.
Well, I mean, you're gonna be empty-handed because we really don't have anything. So, I mean, you can try, but good luck.
No, unless we get what we want, you're not walking away from here. Because, even if you didn't have it, at least I'd have your dead body to console me.
That's so sweet. I'm just
Yeah.
gonna flip the thumbs off. So, whatever we launch the grappling hook in from the ship, can we throw the canister that you have in there?
Well, I was thinking that.
Duct tape it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was thinking that we could take the canister and politely set it outside and bury a detonator underneath of it, and make it look nice and pretty, like we left it there. Those wave creatures are kind of scary, so maybe that would help. If we have something to make the canister look more artifactish, that would be even better.
Yes. Or make the canister, dress the canister up like an artifact and detonate it once they have it. Give it to them.
Yeah, like we set the booby trap there, we take off, they land, they go for it, we hit boom.
Okay.
That might work for us. Do we have the necessary materials to dress it up?
Oh, I mean, we have repair tools, hacking tools, spy gear, all that stuff.
I'm looking at you, Lyndon, because you might have some of the weird pretties. I don't know what you mystics carry.
Yeah.
You might have some weird shit in your quarters. I don't know.
Could I have? Is it possible to use a flashback for? I don't know why I would have gotten.
Spray paint?
No. What about using like armor paneling or something like that from our last? From the hull upgrade.
So what exactly are you trying to build here? So you're trying to build something that will look like the artifact, but is not?
Yeah.
And you're trying to build it into the canister?
Build the canister, or build the fake artifact around the canister.
Okay.
I mean, the canister is already wrapped in like writing, so it already kind of looks artifact-ish. We're just kind of trying to dress it up and really solidify. Like this looks like something important.
Okay. All right. So you so you want to make the canister look like an artifact. Okay. So do you want to make any changes to it visually, or
Nothing that would damage it, because if we damage the canister, that might not make it effective.
okay? So what action would you like to use to make this a more convincing facsimile?
Probably be
I
rigged would be the best, right?
I have a point in skulk, and that says like misdirection or something like that. So I don't know. That might not be it.
What about scrap?
Scraps for fighting.
Oh, okay, that is for fighting. I'm thinking.
I think it's up to Mr. GM to decide what would be the best action here.
Rig is the most appropriate unless you have a way of applying one of the other actions. If you're like physically modifying something, rig seems like the most appropriate role.
Someone rig it, and then I talk to Mr. Man up there and tell him that we are leaving the artifact. Because I
told him to go fuck himself. So you want to talk to him?
I would very much like to talk to him. You did
Okay.
not handle that very diplomatically, sir.
Let's go.
Do we expect your nemesis there to be the one to actually go pick it up?
Well, they're in a ship. They need to come down here. So
Yeah, do you think he's the one that's going to get out and physically pick it up?
why don't we just blow up their ship?
Does it matter?
With our grappling hook?
Yeah, what are we gonna fucking do? Shoot them in the engines and fling them off into the fucking sun? No, I think not, sir.
Good idea.
I think you have been overindulging a bit there, Bags.
So, yeah, whatever you guys want to do. I have 2 rig though, so I can roll if you want to try to make something look spiffy.
That would be very nice.
So how you guys gonna buy him time to do that?
I'm going to hop on comms.
Okay.
Okay,
Nice.
I'll roll rig. Do we have a thing? Should I use this gambit or gambit? Gambit.
Maybe. Do you want to save the gambit for flying out of here?
Yes. Yes, I do. All right. So 3d6. 6 and a 3.
Okay. So you make a visually convincing facsimile using some, leftover armor panels and some copper wire and electrical tape.
Nice.
Like if you squint your eyes and don't look directly at it, it looks just like the artifact.
If you close your eyes.
If you close your eyes, it looks just like it.
You give it to Lyndon and ask him if he can sort of imbue some sort of essence of the way so
Is
that
that a real thing?
Slather some whey juice on it.
yeah,
Yeah.
just
I mean, it's got
Take a
whey
minute.
chum in there, so I mean that should give off a little aura.
yeah.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Okay.
So while that's being done, Choss is smirking to himself on the screen. Hello? Anybody there? Pax, old buddy?
We decided that Pax was not fit to talk to you. You know him, don't you?
Oh, yeah, we go way back. We're such good friends.
Then you
I'm sorry
you
he's
should know
not.
that.
I'm sorry he's in one of his moods right now.
Yeah, you should know that he is a friend of the needle, and when he's in that state, he's not in his right mind. We would be more than happy to leave the artifact on the surface.
Really happy.
Yes, in the sense that we are happy to fly out of here on our own power without a bunch of holes being peppered into us.
Ah, yes. That. I'm glad you grasp the situation because that is what's going to happen if you screw with us at all. So I just want to make that clear. Get our relationship off on the right foot. I love meeting new people, and I just want us to understand each other.
You're a delightful figure. Yes, we will promptly set it on the surface and be off on our merry way, and it is all yours. Life is preferable to anything else here.
So here's the deal. We're
Yes.
going to come down. One of my guys is going to come out. He's going to check it. And then you can go.
I thought the previous arrangement was that we leave it there, and if we fuck with you, then bad things ensue after. Because here's the thing: if we remain on the surface, we're gonna have to hold Pax back because he might get a little trigger happy, and we wouldn't want you to suffer any harm at all.
Well, then I suggest you maintain a good grip on him.
Very wise advice. Thank you very much.
So, if there's nothing anybody else wants to do,
I'm waiting. So I have an idea in mind, but I'll wait until this plays out a little bit.
okay. So their ship descends after a few minutes. They're hovering nearby, and they come to a landing with their particle cannons from their ship trained on your ship. One of the crew one of his crew comes out and jogs on over to where you left your facsimile, and he looks at it for a minute, goes up and
Can I?
yeah.
My whole idea was to use kinetics to hurl the object into their ship,
Okay.
like detonating the thing against
like
their ship.
breaking it open.
Correct. All over, splashing the ooey gooey way goodness all over their ship.
All right, go ahead and push yourself.
And the whole idea behind that is to like with the cargo bay door open and then telling Bags to push it, to punch it rather.
Punch it. There you go.
Ooh, push it like salt and pepper. So
Push it real good.
There it is. So is push yourself 2 stress? Or 1?
Yes. 2 stress.
2. Okay. All right.
This is a very stressful mission.
Yeah.
All right.
And then go
All right,
ahead and roll a tune to make this shot.
No whammies, no whammies. I dropped it, but it is a 5, 2 5s.
Okay.
Is that like 2 6s?
No.
No.
Yeah, it's a double mixed success. So,
Does that turn into 1 regular success?
Thank goodness for that hull.
Yeah, right.
No kidding.
So just as this guy is leaning over to grab it, it suddenly flies out from under his hands into the cargo bay of the ship, and there's a poof of orange powder, and that's when you can start hearing that psychic screaming sound starting to pick up. And immediately Choss is on the comms. What the fuck was that?
What happened?
But so that happened at
What did your guy do?
You understand that this is a very sensitive way artifact. It nearly blinded one of our men. Did you do anything to damage it?
The guy who was sent out, like, he turns back to his ship and is like, and Choss is clearly on the comms with him, questioning him, but he's muted. He's like, we're gonna go check that, and nobody's gonna fucking move. Do you understand?
I understand, but you must be very careful with that thing. Like
Yeah,
I
no
said,
shit. fucking Wade bullshit. He storms off, to presumably to go inspect it.
So off comms, I'm just gonna be like, so as soon as I see any sign of those things, I'm gonna punch it. Right?
Well,
Acceptable.
if hopefully they are going to be preoccupied. Hopefully they see those things too. So hopefully they'll stop training the cannons on us.
So you notice that the ethereal screaming sounds steadily rising, but Choss is back on the comms. He's like, it's fucking broken. These are artifacts. They don't break. This is bullshit. And he's like,
Punch
that
it.
wasn't it. You're full of crap. You guys have 2 seconds to get the real artifact out here before I start charging my weapons. Yeah, fuck it, I'm charging them now. And he punches the button.
Alright, I'm gonna-
I can assure you, sir, that was the real article. And are you hearing any loud noises over there?
So you trying to convince him that that was the genuine article?
Yeah, and basically, like, retelling the story of how we got it and how nearly 2 of our dudes got severely fucked up just by looking at it, that him touching it might be the cause of some breakage and any possible bad happenings.
Would this be a sway attempt?
I think that would be the best thing here, yeah.
Okay. Go ahead and do it up. And you do have 1 gambit left.
Use
Yes, I
it.
do. Use it?
Yeah.
Okay.
0 gambits.
3d6. Is this a risky or desperate action here?
Let's say risky for right now.
Okay. That was a 1. That fell off. Do we count that?
Roll
No.
again.
Kinda. Okay.
Okay.
If you can't hit the cable, it's a miss.
Not much better. That was a 3.
That's with the gambit die.
Yeah,
Yeah.
those 3 dice. And what was your last one? It was also a miss.
Oh
jeez.
no.
2 1s and a 3. The luck's worn off. It needs to marinate in the box more.
Okay.
Sit in there and think about what you've done.
Go to dice jail.
Time out.
So your sensors indicate that Choss is not buying it because he is charging his weapons and he is powering up his engines, and his guy that's out on the ground is hoofing it as fast as he can to get back on the ship.
Okay. Can we shoot the grappling hook into the guy that's running back to the ship and then fucking go?
Okay, you want to shoot the grappling hook into the guy? All right.
Yeah. And then just like as we're going, like grappling hook and just
Ragdoll him around as we're flying away.
Are there any evil goldfish swarming them yet?
You're starting to see a glow from the ground, but they are getting ready to take off.
Why do we grapple hook where the pilot is? They obviously must have a window to see. Wouldn't that distract them long enough where they may not be able to actually fire?
I mean,
And
they
buy
can't
time
take
for
off.
it?
Yeah,
Huh?
they can't go back into space if there's a big ass hole in their cockpit. I'd imagine it would be very difficult to fly with the cold vacuum of space blowing everything out of there.
Yeah,
Okay.
and for the time being, that would
Well,
delay them enough where the creatures could come get them.
if they can survive like plasma cannon, then they could survive a grappling hook bouncing off their cockpit window.
But it's not
What if-
that. It's
what-
the grappling
What if
hook.
we fire the grappling hook into their cargo bay door so it doesn't close?
That's a good
Yeah,
idea.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Or
what that
chop.
would do is, if successful, it would prevent them from closing the cargo bay door, and like they could take off, but it would limit their maneuverability, and they wouldn't be able to go into space.
Well, they could still fire upon us, though, correct?
But yeah,
They would have to get to a hover to get the weapons properly trained on you. But their maneuverability is going to be limited if there's a grappling hook engaged.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
who's firing?
so this would be a helm roll.
Oh, that's me.
Off in the corner smoking a fucking cigarette because
So let's say this is a desperate action, because if it is not successful, they will get to a hover and take a shot.
So I have 2 in helm. If someone can someone assist? Or is this?
I don't have any in helm.
Well, you don't need one in helm to assist. You just say how you're helping and take 1 stress.
I have 8 stress already, so
I have
Stress.
1, 2, 3. I have 7.
I have 8 as well.
Okay, never mind. So
Go ahead, Liam.
I'll just, I'll push it, I guess.
Wait, how much stress do you have?
6.
You could assist, and Chris could push himself. We'd all have 8.
Everybody be fucking indulging some vices after this one. Oh shit. Yeah, I'll assist. I'll take the extra stress.
How are you assisting?
Yeah, fuck. How am I assisting?
You can do
So-
it.
so the Tyrion's a very charismatic man, so I guess he's doing some fucking cheerleader shit. I don't know. Maybe he's on. Okay.
There's an easy movie to quote here, Liam.
Do share.
You
firing.
can do it!
I'm not gonna dip that low.
It was a good movie.
Okay. I'll assist by trying to buy him some extra time. So while he's prepping all this shit to do that, I'll just be rattling on comms, trying to keep his focus on me talking instead of what our ship is doing.
Okay, so while
Like just
he's
getting progressively more like insane, just like, and there were these big fucking eels, and they were coming at us on all sides. They were coming through the fucking walls.
and he's just like,
they tried to take a
"Shut
bite out
the
of my
fuck up,"
fucking
and
leg.
he cuts the comm.
All right,
Well,
so
I did my
4
part.
dice on this, right?
What's that?
4 dice.
Yeah, you're pushing yourself. Yep, 4 dice.
Oh, that would be good.
Also, am I frozen again?
6.
No.
Oh
No.
my god.
Okay, just need to make sure.
You do 6?
I
All
see 2
threes?
3s.
2.
Oh shit!
What?
And what's the last one? 3, 3, 2, 1.
Oh,
Wow, guys, what the fuck?
Oh my god, we burned all our 6s.
Oh no.
I was not expecting that result.
Mr. GM, does he get advantage for being a good pilot?
No. He rolled
Wait.
4 dice.
Wait.
Yeah.
Shit.
Do we get a gambit for rolling a risky action?
That was desperate, right?
Yes, you are getting a gambit from this, but you can't use the
wait.
gambit you gained on this
Right.
roll.
Well, my action was risky on trying to talk to him. Remember?
No, it's.
That was the assist, though.
Yeah.
No. The action before this, where I was trying to convince him that that was the real artifact, and then I rolled the 2 1s and the 3.
Yes, we
Okay.
did forget about that. So you can
Go ahead, Chris,
roll
roll
one more die, Chris.
Please,
You can roll
let it
one
be a
more
six,
die.
Chris. Please. Oh God.
Oh!
Okay.
worst pilot ever.
We
That was
can
the grappling hook.
re-roll our characters next session.
That was
Reroll kick.
5d6. How did you roll so low on all of them?
And you
rolled
That was
10 on
unlikely.
5d6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was just a grappling hook thing, right? That wasn't even flying. So
Oh my god.
That's good.
Makes it even worse.
Well done, man.
So
So,
tonight-
We got our TPK, I think.
no,
That
no,
was a
no.
good run, everybody. My next character will be named Bob.
So what? So was that? That was just the grappling hook into the ship, right? As we start flying.
But it was
Yeah,
a
as
desperate.
he's-
It was
Yeah,
But
so
that didn't work. So how did that resolve?
So, yeah, I'm trying to figure that out. So, I think
hey, we got hull. We got a hull. That's good, right?
yeah. So this is gonna be nasty. So, your shot goes wide enough from the cargo bay door that it glances off the hull and flies off into nothingness. Chaucer's ship gets airborne and charges and takes a shot with their twin particle cannons, and they end up badly damaging your weapon system, so you can't fire the grappling hook again. You're going to take 2 damage on weapons, as well as doing some nasty damage to your brand new hull plating. So you're going to take 1 damage on hull. So, the Cerberus is a little fucked up, guys.
The engines are still fine.
Yeah, for now.
Actually, of course, I forgot. Do you want to attempt to resist that?
How does one do that?
Same way you do a normal resist. You roll, let's see,
So it's like, but what stress do you use? Like
your stress. Your stress.
Oh wow.
All
So
of us?
did we get a gambit for that?
No, because you used the gambit on it.
You don't get a gambit if you use a gambit.
2d6. I can't roll that bad again, so I'll do that. Fuck that.
Wow.
God.
2d6.
And yeah, you'll roll 2d6 here. Just remember, you gain stress equal to 6 minus your highest result.
Okay. So I have 1 stress left.
You only have 1 stress left. You're at 9
Before I get-
stress.
Or get a trauma.
So
have
unless
8,
you
right?
roll a 6, you're getting a trauma, is what you're saying?
So is it
Yeah.
9 and then you get a trauma, or is it plus
10.
9?
Like over 9? Can you have 9 and have a trauma, or is it?
It's 9. You can have 9. You get a trauma on 10.
Okay, good. So I have to roll a 5 or a 6.
On 2d6.
Yeah.
How
do
hard
you wanna
can it
Worked out
resist?
be?
pretty well. Yeah.
That. There we go. Yeah, fuck it. There we go. Ah, yes.
All right.
Oh.
You take no stress and you resist. So
Who said I was? Go fuck yourself.
I guess you immediately gun the engines and like the ship jumps up and to the side. So rather than taking damage on the weapon systems, you only take the damage on the hull. So you do take 1 damage on the hull.
Right. Sweet. So we can use the grappling hook again.
Yeah.
Or we could just freaking fly the fuck out of here.
Yeah, so that begs the question, what do you guys do next?
I think we fly the fuck out of here. Take evasive maneuvers and fly like underneath their ship or something. I don't know. You're the pilot.
What's up? Do we see any of the way creatures?
So they were starting to come up out of the ground, but the ship is taking off and rising faster than they are.
Okay.
It was a good gambit, but basically flubbing the delaying tactic gave them enough time to get away before it was on top of them.
Aaron looks at this. Oh, that is such poppycock.
Well, hold on.
Goes over to the dock and takes some drugs, and he's gonna walk the fuck out in his quarters
I have a
because he's
question about
done.
that. I have a question about that whey juice stuff.
Yeah.
Whatever it is.
Spirit juice.
It was like a gas that came out, right? So would the crew smell like it?
Yeah, so, like, if they landed back down there, the way creatures would come back for them. But they're...
So, do we see the way creatures? Like, what if we put the actual artifact out? Let the guy come get it, and then if the way creatures are close enough, the way creatures would just eat him.
At this point, the
Who's
comms
pick
have
it up?
been cut, and they are firing at you.
Yeah, they're not
Yeah.
gonna be like, oh,
If
just
we
kidding.
walked out holding the artifact up in the air.
He would just shoot us, explode us, and not. Yeah.
Diplomacy has failed, my good man.
So, mechanically, you can attempt this. It would be very desperate, or not very desperate. It would be desperate, and it would have little effect, depending on how exactly you wanted to do it. It would be a reduced effect in some way. It would be very difficult to get their attention and get them to calm down at this point, is what that represents.
Let's just try and fly out of here, I guess, then. We don't
Yeah.
have much choice.
It's too bad that comms are off, because I was just gonna say to open comms and laugh at them as we flew away, but
Antagonize them.
yeah.
You can always broadcast if you want to. They just might not talk back.
So, what is the engagement roll?
The engagement roll is that roll we do at the very beginning of the job to see what your position is at the start of...
Did we add +1 dice to that? Because we have the snatch and grab for the Cerberus. Forgot to do that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I forgot about that.
8.
Well, we're already here.
Yeah, we're too deep
No,
into the
fine.
rabbit hole to redact everything.
Yeah.
While everyone's doing this, Tyrion can do nothing more at this point, so Tyrion's going to go to the bathroom.
Okay, so what do we do now?
Let's get the hell out of here.
Yeah. Fucking. Let's fucking get out of here. You want to use. So tracers, or do we want to use tracers on this guy to sort of track his movements?
How would you get the tracer onto him?
Oh, they're like tiny bugs. Can't they just fly over and attach themselves to the ship or something?
I think bug in the sense that they are bugging the room, transmitting clandestinely, not
Okay.
like an insect.
Yeah, let's just fly the fuck out of here. I'm gonna go low level as fast as I can.
Okay, so try to lose him through the mountainous terrain.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
this would be a helm roll. You would have let's see. It would be risky standard effect, or you could really sort of push it to the limit and get extremely daring with your maneuvers and trade position for effect, basically. So it would become desperate, but it would be a great effect.
so let's do desperate.
Okay.
Yeah. And so it would be 2d6, right? So
Yep, 2d6 unless you want to push yourself, somebody wants to assist. We're out of gambits,
Get
though.
myself up to 9 stress here. I'll assist.
Okay.
so what's the difference between, like, what is the difference between a risky roll and a desperate roll?
So risky is the standard sort of roll, and you get a gambit when you make one without using a gambit. Desperate means the consequences of failure are greater.
Mm-hmm.
But instead of gaining a gambit, you gain an experience point in whatever attribute your action fell under.
Sweet.
Did the people assisting, because I know on the downs, like the bad side, the people that assisting gain part of like whatever happens.
Mm-hmm.
Did they gain anything good like on the positive side? I always meant to ask that.
No, they just assist with whatever the action was.
Okay.
They help to make it. They help to make it a success.
Okay.
Do I did I do a desperate roll before?
Yes,
One, I
the
thought.
grappling hook shot was desperate.
That failed, so I'm experienced.
Yeah,
All
you
right,
get
here
the
we go.
experience regardless of whether it succeeds or fails.
So Liam, I'm doing a desperate roll to fly a low level out of here as fast as I can. Matt's
Okay.
assisting.
Oh yeah.
Here we go.
No.
Say it ain't
We
so.
retired those dice.
It's a 4.
Okay.
Out of 1.
So is it so? Rules wise, can I push myself?
Yes, you gain true
Or is it
stress
too
when you
late?
push yourself. Technically, it's too late, but if you want to retroactively do it, I'm fine with that.
No, that's fine.
Like, if you push yourself, you're gonna take a trauma.
Oh,
Yeah, I believe so.
it's true.
All right.
But like, I don't know if I can. I would like to roll another dice just to see, like, to get out of here. And I think, like, narratively, right? Like, he's flying through the valleys of the mountainous terrain, blah blah blah. But the guy's catching up, right? So
So your effect was still great here, because you're really pushing it. And in addition, you have potency on rolls involving speed because of your starting ability.
oh shit! When you spend a gambit on, I didn't spend a gambit, son of a bitch. Wait. Okay, go ahead. Keep going.
So what happens here is you make these daring maneuvers, and there are some close calls with the scenery, and Choss takes a number of shots as you go, and one of them clips the ship, and it'll result in 2 damage to your comms if you don't resist. But regardless of whether or not you resist, you're going to put enough distance between you and them to make a clean getaway at this point.
I resist because I get that extra dice.
Okay.
So that's 3, right?
Doesn't resisting cost a stress though?
It costs a
If he
variable amount of
rolls
stress
low.
based on the roll, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
If
if
he
I
rolls
get a
low.
6, it's nothing.
Yeah.
But I have 3 dice.
You were putting a lot of faith in RNGesus. Do not invoke Murphy's law here, dude.
Okay. I take 1 stress. I'm at 9.
All right, yeah, you resist the damage. You managed to narrowly juke away from that shot. And it's just rubble from the side of the mountain wall that peppers the ship.
Mind the paint job, boys.
All right, yeah, so you guys get enough distance that you make a clean getaway. And you'll be able to contact Layla about rendezvousing with them to deliver the artifact.
Holy fuck.
That was a nail biter, boys.
Jesus Christ. Oh my god.
There were some bad rolls there.
Yeah.
Very, very bad.
If I had some, I'd be fucking double fisting cigarettes right now. God damn. Tyrion is stressed. I'm stressed.
Yeah, so let's go ahead and do experience triggers, and we'll wrap this up. So, Cerberus crew executed a successful operation of successful extraction operation, capture of a bounty. No, that was not this kind of mission. Contended with a challenge above your current station. I'm going to say yes, because way creatures scurry.
Yeah, and we were also going up against a person with fucking dual-mounted plasma cannons, and we had a dinky-ass grappling hook.
Bolstered your crew's reputation or developed a new one?
Oh yeah.
Yep. Your little trick didn't work out, but it was a very very good attempt. Express the goals, drives, inner conflicts, or essential nature of the crew.
The only conflict I can think of amongst the crew is Tyrion smacking bags in the back of the head, like, why must you antagonize that man?
There was also
Asshole.
I think yes, because when you guys were in the jobs phase, there was a lot of humming and hawing over which way do we want to go, which thing's the right thing to do, trying to vet your clients to make sure they weren't shitty people. So I'd say yes to that. All right, Lyndon. Address a tough challenge through wisdom or the way. Take 2 experience for that, because you did a lot of that.
Okay.
Express your beliefs, drives, heritage, or background.
I think I was thinking of the wisdom and the way thing about something that happened pre-game, but I don't think there was the connection with the one guy that helped us navigate, who gave us the information to navigate into the site. I don't know if that.
Yeah, sure. You talked about how you met him and how he helped you. So yes. Struggled with issues from your vice or traumas during the session. I'm gonna say no. Nobody really did that here. Pax. Address the tough challenge with speed or flair.
Yeah.
Hell yes.
Would you say that was once or multiples?
Well, if you count the 2 different roles, I don't know. Like the grappling hook was flare, but it sucked. And then the escape.
Yeah, I'm gonna call it flair. Yeah, that's flair. So take 2 for that. Express your beliefs, drives, heritage, or background.
I don't know. Background with Choss.
Yeah, sure. Take it. All right. Tyrion. Address the tough challenge with deception or influence.
I attempted to lie my ass off to Choss.
Yeah, didn't go well, but take an experience point for that.
Okay.
Expressed your beliefs, drives, heritage, or background.
I think it would be a stretch for me to say expressing beliefs in like the jobs phase.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a bit of a stretch. So I think I'm just taking 1 XP this go around.
Okay. And Emmett. Address the tough challenge with insight or compassion.
I don't think I really had anything with insight or compassion. I mean, maybe coming around to Anna being left with him, because that was a real struggle for him.
Well, there was your flashback to do the prep work, learning about the local wildlife, and that tipping you off that there might be way creatures.
That's true. That would be insight, I guess. Yeah.
So I'd say that's 1 experience.
All right.
Express your beliefs, drives, heritage, or background.
Again, maybe a stretch, but the background when I went back and how I learned that stupid, wacky, freaking attune dance.
Yeah. Perfect. Yeah. Take 1
that
for
last, that. I had 1. Every time you roll a desperate action, mark XP, and then actions after. I did 2 desperate rolls, right?
Correct.
Okay. Sweet. And that was both for Helen, right?
Yes. Yeah. So those would go under prowess.
So these experience go under either your insight, prowess, or resolve, right?
Or your playbook XP. It's your choice what to do with them.
So if we get 2 XP, prowess don't we get double because it's the thing we?
That's only when you do the train downtime action.
Oh, only the train. Okay.
Because normally you get 1, but if you've got the facilities for that particular attribute,
Okay.
you do 2.
Okay.
All right, so everybody is stressed as fuck coming out of this.
Bam,
We
Skippy
know we're all
son.
rolling.
Yep.
Yeah, and there's a little bit of damage to the ship, so that'll probably want to get taken care of. That was fun. That was a fun one.